Hey you, thanks for watching my video. In this Node.js tutorial we're gonna create our own web scraping application with the little front end here. In my case we're gonna build a TV series / movie rating finder app. So we're just gonna copy the IMDB link, paste it in here inside a form, which is just an EJS template view engine, and we're gonna post it to our little small Node.js app server. And as an answer we just get the title from the URL we paste in, and also here you can see it, the rating from the series or movie, and you can paste in every URL from IMDb you want. So I hope you are ready to watch that video and to learn this cool web scraping app. Have fun watching the video right now and let's go. So let's dive right into it. I'm here in a blanket folder, in a new folder for my Node.js project, and here I open the console and I'm just gonna install the required packages. The first thing we're gonna install is the got npm package, and actually as you can see 18 million downloads, is really used a lot, and it just makes your HTTP requests, what we're gonna do actually, human readable. So we can just use it as a string and we can make some operations with that. Also for our web scraping actions, which is gonna use Cheerio, which is in my opinion pretty good because it uses that kind of jQuery syntax. So we just can just select some HTML elements by picking the correct selector with classes, with attributes, with the tag name and so on. So we're going to use Cheerio, and also to create a little small front end just to see something we're going to use Express to create a little app and a little server to just bring everything in the front end. So right we're just gonna start right now. So we're just gonna install the required packages. So this is the got package, we got the Cheerio package, and we also gonna use the Express, and in the end we're gonna use the body parser because we're gonna parse from an input form field some data to our Node.js server to handle everything on the server after. So we're just gonna install that. This will just take some seconds, and after that we just can npm init our project. We should do that before. You just can npm init, so you can create an empty project. You can just type everything, enter here, because it just asks for the name of the project or the name of the developer, the author and so on, but we do not want to use that. So actually, as you can see, it just creates your package.json, and here you got your installed versions, dependencies you're going to use inside this project. And actually we're just gonna start with one file here, so we're just gonna call that file index.js, and here all our magic is gonna happen. I'm just gonna put this terminal a little bit down, or just click it away, and we're just gonna start by creating our little Express server. So we're just gonna create the const express, which is equal to require the installed Express, and as simple as that, we just can create a new app, or actually the server. We're gonna name it app, and we just call the Express function here to create an app. And we can also now just start listening to our app by just setting the app.listen, and here we just can put in any kind of port. So let's also define the port here. Let's say for example 4000, and we just can do a callback function, what happens after the server is listening, and we just can simple console.log here, server started, listening to port 2. We can use the curved parentheses to don't break the string, and just put in here the port. So actually now we can save that, and okay, now I need my console again, and Now if I just type in node index, because the name of our file is index, we're just gonna see server started listening on port 4000. And actually if we go to our browser and type in /4000, we actually see, okay, something is happening here, but we got the message cannot get. This just means we didn't define our route for the // here, and the app doesn't know what to do here. So we just can here define our route, and to do that we just can, before the listen, we just can app.get, and here we just type in our route. Get means the method, so get is just calling the URL in the browser, and again here we just get some callback function, and this callback function actually got a request and also a response. We can handle that, but for now we just want to say res.send worked. And now if we go to our need to restart our server, we can Control-C to stop that and node index again. So you actually will see now worked. Okay, actually maybe you see for every single change we need to restart our server manually. So this takes a lot of time, so we want to do that automatically. And for that we just install a little dev dependency which is called nodemon. Just type in npm install nodemon or npm I nodemon, the short version for install, to install it. And for now, after the installation, we just can say nodemon index instead of node index. And now we gonna listen forever to the server, which means if we change something here, I'm just gonna say worked test, and I just saved my file. The server automatically restart, and we don't need to restart the server again. So this is pretty awesome. Okay, we're just gonna do one more thing. We're gonna set the view engine to EJS, so we just can render not only a string, we just also can render a little template like a HTML template. So for that, I'm just gonna install EJS, which is a view engine for Node.js. So we can also pass variables inside and more to get some more information to our template. And for that, we just need to create a folder, which is called view, because it's a view engine. And inside there, we just can create a new file with index.ejs. And for here, we can use that as a normal HTML file. So if I gonna create a little HTML template, and for example here, wrap scrapping as a title, and in the body we're gonna write body. And now we can define the view engine with app.set, and here we can say view engine, and we can set this to EJS, which means okay, our app is now listening to the view engine EJS. Okay, now we need to res.send here the worked. But before, of course, we need to restart our server nodemon. You can also type nodemon, not nodemon index. You can also just type nodemon, and it will automatically search for the index file. Okay, here we just can now, instead of res.send, we can use the res.render, and here we just can type in index. That's all. So it goes to the view folder automatically and search for the index.ejs. If you're gonna name that test, we need a test.ejs, but we got an index, so we're gonna name it index.ejs. And for that, we refresh. Okay, if I have to look up index in the views, or I just write view in singular, we need to plural that with views. And yeah, now you see we got the body. And if you inspect the whole page, you see we got the little construction as an HTML construction. Pretty awesome. For now here, I'm just gonna start to create a little form, which is just a basic HTML form. So here we go. We're just gonna create a form, and we got some action, which is post. This will be important later, and the method here. Also the name of the method, so we just can say send URL. And inside the form, we're just gonna create an input with the type text. Then we got a placeholder where we're gonna type in type URL here, which is like placeholder, and we need a name for that. So my URL, for example, and we also need a submit button. So input type is equal to submit. And here we just can say, okay, we'll use equal to send. And for now, if we refresh, we got a little form here right now. I'm just gonna style that a little bit, but this is not a styling tutorial, so it's not that much. I just gonna copy in some inline style here right now. It's just that inline style from here to here. It just gives some background color and some stylings for the form. It's not more. And now if I refresh, you see we got a little and cool form here inside our page. Okay, so why do we use the EJS view engine right now? I mean, you just can type in some basic string here and send some string back, but we're going to use the view engine. The one important thing here is that we can use the variables. So if I pass in an object, for example, with the value of, let's say, test again, we can just go back to our view engine and can render that out by typing in, for example, with the smaller sign percentage and the is equal, we can put out some variables, and here we just can put out the, what did we name it? We just name it value here, the value, and we can with an percentage again and a greater sign, we just can print that out, and actually you will see here test because we named this variable test. And we're going to use that for the answer after we submit the form here. So we just get rid of that for now. Okay, so this is empty string here. So now we need to create a new router post method. So we're just going to say app.post. And because our form is going to be post to the send URL, we're just going to declare it as /send URL. And what we're going to do is for the beginning, we're just going to say rest.end or rest.send. You can use both. Worked post form. For now, if you send that form, you will just go to send URL. Oh, I just made a little mistake. Of course, we need to put the method as post, not the action as post. Yeah, now if I go back and just type send, we just see work post form. And at this point, we're just going to use the body parser, which takes the inputs from our form and make it human readable, so we just can access data as a string. And for that, we just declare the the body parser as a variable. And what we're gonna do here is just we're gonna say const body parser is equal to, again, require the body parser, and here we just can access to the URL encoded parser. We can just name it URL encoded parser. Here we go, parser is equal to body parser dot URL encoded, and here we just can pass in the object with extended and set it to false. That's just some basic settings we can do here. And this is actually middleware, so we just can, after we send that post request to that URL, we just can pass in a middleware, which means it first go to that middleware, will decode the information we got from the post, and after that it goes on here to the post request and will get us the data from the URL encoded parser. We actually can pass in as many middlewares as we want. We're just going to use that for now. And now if we gonna console.log the request.body, we will see something interesting. We just go back here and we type in 1, 2, 3, 4, and if we send that now, you can see here in my terminal we got an object with the name my URL and the value 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just can access our URL by request.body.myURL. And now we got the URL from our form. We can work with that in the web scraping part later. So we just need to set one thing you can also use. You just can here use the the process.env.port value means your system, maybe later on if you go live with your app, will automatically take a free port from the environment. And if this is not the case, we just take 4000. So if there's no free port available or something like that, and then you just can use that port here, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so now we just are ready with our form here. So what we need to do next is we just need to web scraping our actually search data. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna create a function, and we just create a function without a name, so we just can use that brackets here. And actually we can use that as a function. This is a correct syntax for a function, and to make this function callable, we just can pass in some brackets around that. And actually, maybe you got a function, you're gonna call a function, for example, my function, and you do that brackets behind to call that function. And we're gonna do the same here, so just some brackets behind to call that function. Also, we're gonna do an async function, so we're gonna wait for the answer from the URL. That's very important. And we just can general use that post request as an async function, and so we can use the wait before to really wait for the answer here. And what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna say, okay, we just got a response, and this response is equal to the URL. But now we need our installed got library, so we're just gonna declare a new variable got, and we're gonna say require got. This will make this URL human readable, and we can access the data from it. So we just can pass this function around our URL, and actually we just can console.log now our URL. And I'm just gonna take the IMDB data, for example. Let's go to TV shows, top rated TV shows, whatever. For example, take I don't know, Band of Brothers, and just take the URL, and if you put it in here and send it to the server, you actually got the correct URL to the server, and now you can work with Cheerio to get some data. And the good thing is, I already told you in the beginning, Cheerio use some cool jQuery syntax, so you can use the normal selectors like in CSS for picking up data. So we're just gonna say const $, which is jQuery syntax, and we can just use Cheerio.load, and here we got the response, which is actually the whole requested data with head and body, but we only need the body, which is the part here between the let's say between the HTML tag here, everything what is viewable and in the browser. We can access that, of course. So with response.body. And yeah, actually, if I'm gonna log that out, you just will see the whole HTML body from our request. So if I go here and send it again, okay, we got an error here. Cheerio is not defined. Of course, we need to import Cheerio as well. There we go. So we automatically restart, and here we just send our form, and again another error. Cheerio.load expects a string. Okay, so here we just also can put the await because we use the async function. Maybe this was the problem. Let me see. Yeah, that was the problem. It takes some time to parse the URL, and we just need to put a wait before, so otherwise it will not wait for the answer and continue with an empty string, or actually with null or undefined value, which will lead to this error. So actually, as you can see, async functions are really important here. Yeah, and actually you got the $sign, so now you can, for example, get access to some important data. So for example, let's get the title, for example, and here you can see you got an h1 tag. So what we, for example, can do, okay, we can take that at h1 tag, which is got band of brothers. So we just can now say let title, and here we can take the $sign, and we can take the h1 and the h1.html. And now if we console.log the title, you can see maybe the title, if we send that form, hopefully, yeah, here we go, band of brothers. And actually I got a German title here. I'm not sure why I got a German title. Even there is not a German title. All right, whatever. We can now also take the, for example, the rating value. And for that, we just need to inspect our page again. So we just got the span with the attribute item proper rating value. So actually, this is just a good way to use that. So we just can take the span, and we got the attribute item prop, which is equal to this rating value. Okay, so let's comma separate that console.log, and if we go back here, we're gonna post again, and it takes some bit, and we got just some 9.4 as a value, which is correct. So now we can work with that and send it back to our template. So first things first, we're just gonna build and create just a little form to display our values. So we just got a div with the class of container, and inside we just got a p tag with the class of value. Okay, and here we're just going to use again the JS syntax. So with the $sign, we can write an if loop, and we can, for example, write, okay, if the value here we're going to pass in is not empty, and on every line we need to end with that syntax again, and also here we need to start and end with that again in every single line. So we just can pass in, for example, the title, and we're gonna end that actually with an equal sign to print that out. Then we got some sign to divide that, and we can put in the value, for example. And now of course we need to pass in the value and the title. Actually, if we don't pass in everything in the start, we will get some error messages. For example, if we don't got a value inside, here we go, I'll show you. We just got an error because it says, okay, value is not defined. So we need to define the value as an empty string, and probably also the title as an empty string. And now we can go back to our site. And if we got our answer here, we're just not gonna log that out. We're just gonna render that in as the value and as the title. Here we go, and now we're just gonna save that. And if I refresh the page, and again I just pick any IMDB URL here, I'm just gonna pass it in, and if I click on send, oh, we just got here the rest.send. Of course this is not what we want, we just want the response here in the render. So I click on send, and we just need to wait a little bit, and now we just got band of brothers, and we just don't get any kind of value here. Let me pass in the upper container with dot rating value dot find span. For this example, I'm just gonna res.send, and now here we go. And actually, as you can see, we just got that ridiculous empty space here. So I'm just going to use the dash printout, so it will get rid of. And now here we go. We just got the Band of Brothers, actually with a German title, subtitle, and the rating. And yeah, that's all what we want. So now we just can, for example, go on the top and yeah, pick another TV series. So Breaking Bad, for example, and copy the link, pass it in, click on send. Here we got an answer now. Yeah, I hope you guys got the idea to use the async functions and to find the correct selectors here. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, nice that you watched the video until the end. Really appreciate that. Thanks for watching my video. Please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon. Bye.